Botched is back, people. I almost missed the premiere until I saw a commercial. Season 2, episode 1, I love new work. And we start off with a montage of what's coming up this season, lots of interesting stuff, and then we dig right into the episode. So if you saw season 1, which you definitely should, for all but one episode, sorry, I ran too quick, they had 3 potential clients and only took 2 of them. Same work this time. We have New York. Tiffany is her name. She was on Flavor Flav. She had her own spin-off show. Seems like a nice enough gal. She comes in to have her breasts redone. And oh, by the way, while I'm here, my nose runs. Now, I'm going to tell you, your nose runs in cold weather because it's an attempt by your body to keep the inside of your sinus cavity warm by putting some liquid through it. That's why your nose runs in cold weather, at least according to the internet. But they look up in there and they go, oh, you have a deviated septum. We'll change the nose too. They go into surgery. They're looking for, they get a piece of cartilage from the ribs. As you get older, it calcifies and becomes more bone-like, and so they have to search around for a bit, and time's ticking down. And eventually Terry says, I don't want to do the breast job today. It's just, we're running out of time that she's under and all that. So they end up doing the nose. Paul does the nose. She comes out of surgery and they say, it's kind of funny because they show her the next day where they're explaining to her that she didn't have the breast done. And I'm thinking, wouldn't she know that? Like, wouldn't she notice that maybe she was only sore right here or right here? I don't know where they took it from. But she's a good nature. They come back in a few weeks later to do her breast. She had gone to a surgeon that had said she could go as big as she wants. She went huge. Now they're like, womp womp. So, they finished her up. She looks very good. She does look very nice. The nose looks very similar. Just a teeny bit more, I'll say refined. I don't know if that's the right word. But it looks a tiny bit smaller, maybe right in here. But in general, she looks almost the same. There you go. She does look better. The breasts look better. But I don't have a lot of experience looking at naked women. So what do I know? Next up, we get introduced to Roger, who is transgender and had a bunch of injections done into her breasts and into her face. And they showed some pictures, and she was very like contoured, might be the word. And eventually they hardened, and it was they called it concrete, but they also said it was industrial grade silicone, which is essentially caulking. So I'm not totally sure what they used, but definitely not healthy. And so they poke around up here in the face. And there's these nodules, and they're, in my mind, I'm picturing them. I don't know if you picture them this way, but I picture them like marbles underneath the skin, like, oh, they can just cut it and pop it out. But the truth is that this material is infused throughout the flesh. So you can't just really like cut it open and pop out something and then like, oh, it's all gone. It's all in there, and it's like a kind of, a mess. And they say they can't remove the one over here because it's all these nerves, and she won't be able to lose her mouth. She potentially might not be able to use her mouth. Same thing with the breast. It's all in there. There's a chance they could start cutting into the skin. That material, whatever it is, could get loose into her system, and it could spread throughout her entire body, and she could get a staph infection, and she could get a blood infection, and she could die. So what they end up saying is that while right now she is healthy, they do not recommend surgery. They will not do surgery. But potentially, if sometime in the future she gets ill from it, she needs to have it removed for medical reasons, that she should call them up and they'll take care of her. So I think it's a wise choice. I'm not a doctor, but their explanations seem really solid. Okay, our last client is Kristen. As a child, she had severe burns on her chin. She's had 10 surgeries to repair it, and she describes it herself as a very square jaw. It kind of comes in and goes straight across. And they describe it sort of like she almost has a chin strap on. So it's this very thick appearance. So they go in. The problem is if they do too much, this flap of skin was taken from her back to replace third-degree burn skin. Hey! So they go in, they make some cuts, they try to abrade, I believe was the word that they used, remove some of the material and kind of tighten up that chin. She felt very good about it, which is really what's most important when you're talking about reconstructive surgery. So she felt a lot better and all that. So that is Botched. I'm excited for this season, and I will see you soon.